Welcome to the Drinks Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Alex McIntyre. I'm a chartered financial planner working with founders and leaders across the drinks industry. In each episode, I sit down with the people behind some of the world's most exciting drinks brands to explore the real stories behind launching, building and scaling drinks businesses. If you love the drinks industry and the stories behind the bottles, you're in the right place. Let's get started with today's episode. Okay, right, this morning I'm joined by Russ Lamb from 6% Wine. It's great to have you on the Drinks Entrepreneur podcast, Russ.
An absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you, Alex.
How are you doing today?
Well, good, thank you. Being very excited to join you. It's always nice to kind of have a good chat, all around, all to do with drinks on a rainy Friday morning.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, got through January. Glad February's a bit of a shorter month, and then hopefully we're on the closer stretch towards spring at long last. So yes, but no, great. Well, let's talk about something fun and talk about wine. So obviously 6% Wine. Obviously, before we delve into where you're currently at with the business and with your products, what's your background? I know it's obviously yourself and your wife, Gabby. So tell us a little bit more about the origin story, as it were.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. So yeah, my name's Russ Lamb, and quite frankly, we had a problem, and that was the whole reason that we set up the 6% Wine Company was because we loved wine, but we became parents, and quite frankly, the love of wine and love of drinks and like the midweek ritual of having a nice drink suddenly became that little bit harder to get up in the morning once you've got little kids around. So we asked the question quite simply, can you get a genuinely good tasting, lower alcohol wine, which meant that we could still enjoy that wine experience, but not with the negative effects the next morning. And we hunted around the world to try and find something to suit our needs. There wasn't anything, so we set about building one. And over 2 years, we literally searched the world to try and find something, searched the world to try and find some partners. And we finally ended up partnering with some amazing guys down in Bordeaux. And yeah, we spent 2 years innovating the wine, and we launched it about 18 months ago. A bit of a crazy journey.
Well, I
And
bet it is. I
now
bet
we're,
it
now we're
is.
sat here talking to you.
Fantastic. Well, so it sounds like a very action-packed couple of years. So tell us what were you doing prior to that? Were you doing something different? Were you in the drinks world?
Yeah, so my kind of background story really, I've been a consultant change manager for 20 years. So I've been doing big projects and programs in and around the financial services industry, retail, and I contract in and out of different companies to build big projects. And during that, I always liked kind of building something from the ground up and getting it over the line and delivering the end results. And then but Gabby and I were going out for some good meals. Like we were going out for meals. We'd really like our food, and this is back in the day. We were going out for nice food, and I could always order off of a food menu. I could ask, like, if I'd had any questions about the food menu, I could ask the waiter, and I felt perfectly comfortable. But I didn't know much about the wine side. I liked wine, but I didn't know much.
Yep.
And I always felt that little bit awkward about ordering off the wine menu because it's so like stuffy and you need to know your stuff around wine. And we there was one particular moment we were out it was actually a nicer restaurant during a birthday celebration, and I ordered the second cheapest wine off of the menu to this sommelier, and he just looked down his nose at us. And we laughed as he walked away. Come on, why does it have to be so stuffy? Why does it have to be
Yep.
why do I feel awkward about ordering wine off the menu? Anyway, on the back of that, we went away and got some wine qualifications and we set up a wine tasting business. And it started off very much as a let's just go out there and get other people off of the same situation that we've made and just make it a bit fun. Like go out there, enjoy the wine, enjoy experiencing it, explore like the wine world, but in a
Mm,
good, nice, fun way. So we started off pretty small scale. COVID hit, we pivoted to online, and we ended up going through doing quite a lot of client meets, corporate like big corporate tastings, corporate dues. And at one stage,
right.
we were sending 3,000 bottles of wine a week out. So we would send out to all of the customers, and then we'd kind of host an online tasting. But we didn't have a warehouse. That was all coming out of our own house at one point. It's
Goodness me.
crazy. 3,000 bottles of wine a week. The DHL
Wow.
from our kitchen table, which had to be cleared down every night so we could eat. And then the DHL guy hated us by the end of it. He found
Yeah, I
it.
can imagine. Yes.
And yeah, so we started that, and we really pivoting on that, and then we became parents. And we quickly realised that the age of drinking a bottle of wine or full strength wine,
Yeah.
between like 12 and 16% on a weekday when you've got to get up and or any day and look after the kid the day
Yes, yes, yeah, 7 days a week. Yeah, yeah.
doesn't work very well.
Yeah, not quite as conducive as it used to be. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, so that was it. So we started asking the question, can you get a genuinely good tasting lower alcohol wine? And so we searched the world just for our own personal
mm,
needs, and there was nothing out there. So we set about making one. And we finally went out. We partnered with some guys down in Bordeaux. We searched the world for the right partner. We partnered with some guys down in Bordeaux. We spent 2 years innovating a genuinely good tasting lower alcohol wine, and we launched it 18 months ago.
fantastic. Gosh, what a journey. And so what was it an easy decision to take to say, well, we've got this. I said, I won't call it a problem because it sounds like an alcohol problem, but a problem in the fact that there isn't anything in existence that fits the bill for you. To go from that, most people would go, there isn't this, they're either drink less or drink something else, and the problem is the problem. We won't, we'll just look for the best solution that currently exists. But obviously, you've gone that much further and said, well, there isn't anything, or there isn't anything decent. We're going to create it. So was it an easy move to make?
These things are never easy, are they? And if I did say they were easy, then I'd be completely lying, and that's not what we do. So, yeah, I think the great thing about trying to have that conversation with Gabby, with your wife, while you're sat at home, is we're both quite tenacious with certain regards, and like we believe in fairness, and we want to make sure that actually we can enjoy our life. We don't like to be restricted by kind of
Mm,
boundaries that are traditionally put around. So yeah, I think it was kind of a light bulb moment, and we supported each other to get this thing moving and get it going. And to be honest, it was just it's a really good fun
mm.
journey to push through and get onto. And it was an amazing focus to have. And I thought, and really, the other key focus was around we just got a family, and like we want to set the family up for the future as well. So this is like an amazing thing that not only fits what we need as parents now. Hopefully there's some other people in the world that are experiencing the same thing that we can help them, but also kind of set our family up for the future. So it's kind of, yes, it's always a hard decision, but actually when you've got mutual drivers, it makes it that little bit easier. So I suppose my journey is slightly different, whereby we're literally trying to build this amazing thing for not only our personal and professional futures, but for other people and our family at the same time. And it seemed like one of those obvious things that it just made so much sense that we were like, this has to be good, and let's give this thing a go.
Amazing. And in terms of obviously the thought process or the decision behind the strength of the wine, because obviously, we say, sort of generalistically speaking, a wine 11, 12, 13%. Was there a conscious decision with the 6%? Obviously, without you wanted it mid strength, right? Obviously, there's a few out there. Obviously, the market themselves at 0% that we all know, obviously, don't taste fantastically. Was there any decision there that obviously you came to a number there at all?
Really, really great question. Don't get asked that too often.
Okay.
It's a really good question. So we set about to create a genuinely great tasting, lower alcohol wine. And we refused. There are different ways to do that. So you can either build something from the ground up, which is just fake. It's a product that tastes like wine, but it's just full of lots of different ingredients that isn't a wine.
Hmm.
We can't, coming from that wine world background, we wanted to make sure that this was an authentic wine that we could produce. So we tried so many different types of technology and techniques in order to reduce the alcohol in wine, and we use vacuum distillation because we find that that's the best way to reduce the alcohol whilst retaining the flavor. And the way that we do it, we start from a full strength. The first iteration, we start from a full strength Merlot, big bold Merlot, reduce it to zero, and then we blend back up with full strength wine to 6%. So that was the original way to do it. We've now found some other ways to reduce it down, to reduce the alcohol down, and then we stop at the appropriate point. And it was actually that 6% ABV ended up being that perfectly sweet point of you still got the flavor of alcohol, but you don't reduce it. If you go any lower, you take the flavor out. So the way that
Yeah.
we actually landed on six being the perfect balance. And actually, on the back of that, it works out very perfectly that it's about half the alcohol, and we are also half the calories as well. We don't pump it full of sugar. So
Yeah.
6% is actually a product of our end innovation of what we came up with. So and I'm a simple guy. We called it 6%.
It makes it. Well, it does exactly what it says on the tin, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's it. A little bit of Ron Seal in there, and if you're gonna because it's a brand new category, we wanted to have a brand name that was immediately obvious to customers that they could understand what they are about to drink. So 6%, everyone will you immediately know what you're going to get. And what we also wanted to stand out from that wall of wine, from the rest of the wine world. How do you kind of bring yourself out as a challenger brand
Mm,
in, quite frankly, a world of big, large corporates?
mm.
How do you kind of differentiate yourself so much? And that's why we came up with the name 6%, and the logo on the labels is just a humongous six, which is our kind of category, hopefully category defining brand.
Absolutely, no, fantastic. And in terms of how, let me say, how did the obviously you've got contacts from your previous endeavors with wine tasting. How did you find the rest of your sort of industry contacts originally, were receptive to the idea and the concept when you first brought it out?
Another very good question, actually. Whilst we had been in the wine world and we had a few contacts, we'd never created a product. Like
Mm,
it created a whole new wine. It's
absolutely.
totally different space. And Gabby and I, once we had created the wine, we asked the question of like, how the hell do you actually sell wine? Like, how do you market a wine now that we've got this thing? So we realized quite quickly that we didn't have the skill sets in order to get that in. So we actually searched out for a third co-founder, and we came across Jason Sennett, who is ex board member and senior and kind of senior roles at Diageo, Pernod, and Suntory. So and he'd done some spells in No and Low as well, and he just fit us, the culture, the fit exactly well. And he's very much specific on kind of on kind of marketing commercial side. And he's just so he joined us to help us kind of shape our brand and to get it out into the wild. And we also just there's the whole point about if you're going to get into somewhere, just get busy, go and meet people, get involved with people. There's the likes of Club Soda, Laura Willoughby and UC Tolby from Club Soda, who are amazing. I'd highly recommend anybody that's ever getting into this world to go and have a chat with them. They've been so supportive of us; it's unbelievable. And we continue to work with them now to build this brand new mid-strength category.
Fantastic. In terms of going back to Bordeaux, was that, I presume it was a first for them as well that they'd done something so innovative at the time. And I presume they were quite excited by the prospect of it.
So, how the story of how we came across our partners. We were searching around the world. Can you get something that's good tasting, like lower alcohol? And we actually went over to Paris Wine Fair. So Gabby and I went to
Okay.
Paris Wine, 3,000 producers, all showcasing their wines and everything else. So we spent 2 days walking around halls of French wines, asking French producers, "Do you do anything lower alcohol?" Honestly, I don't think I've been spat at any more in my entire life. It was honestly like I just kind of offended them in like
I
offended their
bet,
brand in
yes.
some way.
Yeah.
It was quite comedy walking around. And as we were feeling a little bit destitute towards the end of the second day, we came across our partners and they were like, "Oh, actually, we've just got in a lab-based vacuum distillation machine. Do you want to work with us to help to kind of produce this wine?"
Hmm.
Absolutely. So we co-produced the wine with them. We worked with them. We literally worked side by side with them to try and create a great tasting mid-strength wine. And as I say, it took us 2 years to get to the state where we were happy to kind of launch something that genuinely tasted good. They invested £2 million into a production vacuum distillation machine, and yeah, and then here we go now.
Fantastic. I presume lots of time spent out there over the 2 years
Um,
in the
luckily, well,
process.
you say luckily, yes. These things, going to Bordeaux to create wine sounds very sexy. You as most business front, they're usually as sexy as they turn out to be. Yeah, but yes, we have spent quite a bit of time. I do need to brush up on French quite a bit more, but yeah, they're amazing people, and we really enjoy working with them.
Russ, you've also, as well as the white wine and the red wine that you've got on your website, there's also something called the Mid Strength Collective. What's that all about? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so we when we launched about 18 months ago, we realized that there were a couple of other lower alcohol or there were a couple of other drinks across beers, wines, and spirits that were floating in that it's not 0%, but it's not full strength. There's something in the middle.
Hmm.
And everyone was calling it completely different things. So there were brands calling it lower, lighter, sessionable. And it just if we're going to persuade, it felt like a brand new category. And there was no real category definition. And if you're going to persuade a set of consumers that you're explaining what a product is in a brand new category within drinks, we all needed to be aligned. It doesn't make sense to do something different. So alongside Laura Willoughby from Club Soda, we pulled together
Hmm.
6 brands. So that's Quarter Proof, Small Beer, Session Spirits, and a couple of others. So we pulled them together and say, look, everyone's calling this different things.
Hmm.
Shall we align our narrative and this product in this category so we can then build out so then we can kind of amplify the message as all challenger brands in this, as I say, dominant a market that's traditionally dominated by the large corps. And so we all agreed to call it mid-strength, and this was November 24. We said we would agree to call it mid-strength.
Okay.
And now that group has grown to 12 core members. There's about 30 of us in and around as these products are starting to grow. Mid-strength is now a recognized category across the board. There are specific wine awards. There are specific awards, drinks awards for it now. And everyone's now talking about this mid-strength category being a new kind of trend and a new phase
Yep.
of where people go. And so the collectively, it's that voice of if everyone's amplifying the same message, then we can
Mm.
if everyone's amplifying the same message, you can persuade the consumer, you can educate the consumer of this is what the products are, and then the benefits just flow on from that. And as I say, people have kind of been full strength, then you flip to zero, and actually sometimes this middle ground is just a nice, good way to be, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially in the drinks world. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So in terms of that, I mean, I imagine purely from a numbers perspective, there's a heck of a lot of people that sit in that camp that aren't one way or the other. So it's stands to reason it's going to be a growing area for the future anyway, and it's just getting that awareness of it, I guess, that you're marketing that can only be a positive going forwards.
Hopefully so. Yeah, that's the aim. And I mean, together we built a bit like Dry January. We're doing a mid-strength march.
Love
For
it. That's fantastic. Yeah, brilliant.
so yeah, there's a
Who
number of
wants
us.
Joy January? Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Which felt quite nice. So yeah, we've got quite a few activations. We're in February now, so we've got quite a few activations coming out in March, including some new brand. We're going to be launching some new branding. And we're going to be launching some new branding and new wines as well, 2024 vintage wines, which are going to be released. And
Fantastic.
we're also going to be in one of the major supermarkets, which is just crazy for us, and it's extremely humbling, and I still can't quite believe it as we're making these tractions. But hey, like it's exciting. We've got an exciting few months coming up.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, in terms of the coverage you've had, obviously, I think we've seen you've been in Cosmopolitan, the Times, and obviously on and Saturday Kitchen as well.
Yeah,
You've had
yeah,
some fantastic coverage.
yeah. Saturday Kitchen. Oh, that's it's still quite funny. It's amazing. And we even had it's a French wine, and Gennaro Contaldo, who's obviously a world famous Italian chef, and Italians don't like French wines. They don't go near French wines. There's a rivalry
Or
there.
anything else, yes. Yeah.
And he was extremely complimentary about it. So yeah, it still kind of blows me away. And even last month, our coverage has been amazing. Our PR company that we work with are phenomenal. Genuine PR are phenomenal. Jenny is just has been great, and even just in the last month, we've been through Sheerlux, The Guardian. We've been in The Stylist, and we've got some more coming up in The Times, and some more TV coverage coming up as well. So, yeah, look, it feels like a huge talking point. The trends are definitely moving towards that way. The data, like the data that's now being collected and being shared is that like 52% of the population, the UK population, would prefer to go out for two mid-strength drinks rather than one full strength. So if you're
Mm,
going to pop out for one, well, actually now we can pop out for two, and you're still
yep.
kind of getting that. You're extending your period, you're extending that social occasion whilst being more present. And really, the whole point is like we're wine for people that have big tomorrows. And it's just that enjoyment factor that we're really excited about, and it seems like from a media perspective that people get it as well, which is it's cool when we have some great conversations.
I bet, I bet. And I mean, I don't suppose, it's difficult to define because it can suit absolutely everyone, but I presume there isn't an ideal customer and end user. It's just people that Yeah, unless you're completely teetotal, it ticks all the boxes for everyone, I guess.
Alex, if I sit here and tell you that we've pleased every single customer, I would be completely lying. Because as the nature of wine is, and as the nature of drinks, everyone has their preference. Everyone has their
Yeah.
different ways to do things. But we don't necessarily focus on a particular customer set. It's just about the occasion. So
Yeah.
we call it occasionality. And we're really that wine to focus on the midweek drink. You want to have a night where the midweek drink, or if you want to have a long, lazy Sunday lunch, or you're at a barbecue, or you're at a festival, and you just want to have a nice
Mm.
wine experience where traditionally you might have turned around and gone, probably shouldn't have a wine because that's going to really impact me the next morning. So I will pivot and have a different drink than I normally would have. Well, this is the wine for those occasions, and it's you can still get that. You're more present in the moment. You can enjoy this. You can enjoy that little bit of a buzz, but you can and the wine experience and drinking good tasting wine. But you're still there. You're more present. You can have those conversations. You can. It's that sociability element as well, and yeah, as I mean, it's pretty clear that the world trends are going towards like less drinking, less and good quality, and hopefully this is a product that kind of meets those kind of requirements and touch points.
Perfect. And in terms of obviously as the business has expanded from obviously from the outset, presume you the how it looks in the day to day, you've not got 1,000 bottles in your kitchen anymore. I guess it's all changed from that perspective. Everything's matured in terms of production facilities, the logistics, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, very much so. So we work with an amazing 3PL company down in Reading, and we've got some great distributors. We've been doing a hell of a lot. Our D2C is phenomenal. So our returning customer rate on D2C at the moment is an insane 32%. And we've got a
Wow,
subscription. We've got about I think there's about 30 signed up for subscriptions on a monthly basis, and that's just rapidly growing. Our Amazon sales
gosh.
are just continually growing up. So again, it's about this. It's about just getting the brand out there. And I think what we have found and the feedback that we've had is that it's just something that makes sense. It fits into people's lives, and the like the feed because we're founder led and we speak to all our customers quite a lot. Some of the feedback we get is just brilliant, and up and around Christmas time and even through the year, the amount of people that turn around to me and go, Russ, this is great. My nan can drink this and she won't be as on at Christmas. And that one, I can't tell you how many times people have said that. It's
There
so
you, you can put that as one of the marketing slogans. There you go.
yeah, it's quite funny. It's just but look, it's amazing where people's mindsets go.
Yes, yeah,
And it's all very individual, isn't it? Like everyone has drinks and their social occasions are very individual. Everyone has their own ways, and this is a product that seems to fit into so many different places for them. And like I say, from a parental perspective, loads of people just get that instantly, but loads of people want to go out and in the middle of the week, and if you're buying a bottle of wine or just having a glass of wine, then you're kind of restricting yourself. And
absolutely.
there is the kind of very stereotypical traditional way where historically, if Gabby and I went to the pub, she would have a glass of wine, I might have 2 or 3 pints. Now, from a liquid
Mm.
consumption perspective, that's really unfair on Gabs because
Yes, yeah, yeah,
she's having
yeah,
to nurse that wine and like she's not getting the same experience, whereas I'm managing to have kind of 2 or 3 like full pints of
yes,
liquid.
yeah.
So yeah, there's that element as well.
That's it. Yeah, that's a very very interesting and evident observation, isn't it? With the fact if you're drinking, you know, th 3 or 4% very weak, beer in comparison to a decent wine. Yeah, it's but yeah, volume wise, completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So in terms of obviously the journey you've been on, has there been any sort of standout moments where it's something's been a real obstacle you've had to overcome, or just a trying moment where you've that's been more difficult than you imagined, or perhaps easier than you thought it would be?
Um, our biggest risk and our biggest barrier is historically non-alcohol wine hasn't hit the mark. It's been sweet. It's been really, really poor, to be frank.
Mm.
And as I said before, there are some good non-alc wines out there now. So as soon as we hit the market, everyone's mindset moves to this is going to be rubbish. So that
Okay.
that is the immediate barrier that we have to come over. We have to kind of get over. Whereas actually, our wines are multi-award winning. We've just recently won a gold award in the drinks business for the red. Our white has had multiple silvers. We've got another SKU coming out later for the summer. I'm sure a summer wine, you can relatively guess what that might be in the lineup of things.
Indeed. Yeah.
Um, but our key thing is that initial sale point of is this gonna taste nice and should I go ahead with that initial purchase? That's our biggest obstacle because people's historically haven't got that. So which is why we've purposely gone out there and got the awards. We've got the provenance of Bordeaux and we
Mm.
really hammer down on that. On those that have had it, no can understand that this actually, wow, this is a good quality wine and it does taste nice rather than and as soon as we're over that barrier then, as I say, we've kind of our subscription model is really working well. The returning customer rate just kind of proves that the liquid is there. Our biggest barrier at the moment is just trying to get over that initial hurdle, and we're pushing on that. We've got some. That's our biggest hurdle. So we're continuing to work through that. But as I say, as soon as we've got liquid on lips, we tend to convert quite well.
Fantastic. Yeah. So quite saying, yeah, it's a lot more of the psychological conversion rather than the actual the products because once the product's there, they're sold on anyway. So yeah, fantastic. Um, so in terms of obviously the business where it is now, and obviously you've got a new one coming out in the summer. What's the thought? What's the plan? Or where do you see things over the next, let's say, 1, 3, 5 years? How are you envisaging things?
So we're continuing to grow. So the beauty of where we are, we can kind of hit up multiple markets, on trade, off trade events, catering, that kind of thing. We've got a number of strategic partners that we're working very, very closely with to continue to grow with them. As I say, we're about to launch into our first launch into a major UK supermarket, which we're super excited about. It's embargoed for the moment, but by the time this comes out, I'm sure everyone will be very aware. And
Fantastic.
we're about to bring on we're about to hire in a new salesperson, and we're really just kind of continuing to grow that our customer base and get our wines out there. So we do have the kind of international expansion is on the cards. We are relentlessly getting messages from people all over Europe and the US to say, can you get your wines here? And so we're very much looking into that as well.
Excellent. And so in terms of the three of you, obviously the plan is obviously to grow it, and obviously because there's this love of this new category. I imagine you see yourself staying within it for the foreseeable future and seeing how it progresses.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no time. When you've got a kind of a passion business which seems to be going well, it's very much driven by us as founders. And our kind of investors as well are super keen, super kind of bought in that this is going to be something that could really, really stand out in the future. And I'm just excited, to be honest. I know I sit here and have a chat through everything that we've spoken about, and it's still it feels like you're on this mad journey, and we're just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And collectively, between Gabby's wine experience, and she kind of came from a management background, project management from my side, Jason's kind of collective drinks marketing experience, us as a team, we seem to be working really, really well together, and our respective skill sets are just here to grow this business. And yeah, we're always looking for new partners, always looking for good opportunities and have a good conversation. So yeah, we're very, very much pushing on it.
Excellent. And I said I wouldn't ask a careful question, but I'm going to ask a sort of a gentle one. Obviously, you've got this fantastic wine that you've created. You've got young children. Is there ever a time now where you deviate a little bit and go towards something stronger? Or is mid-strength now your staple?
Mid-strength has to be for us what it for us as people, and for what we're seeing in all of our customers. It mid-strength has to be that the way forward. The wine sales are down, and they are going to continue to go down on current trends. No and low is going up, and as I say, you're kind of looking at the spectrum of full strength is here, but it's going down. You've got no and low, which is continuing to grow, and the quality is continuing to grow. And there's just this beautiful middle ground, which makes so much sense because, especially from a drinks perspective, you can have twice as much experience, and you can still have that wine experience, but
Mm,
without having everything else. And for us, I can't see us moving out of that. We are potentially looking at different kind of grapes, varieties, etc., etc. So we will continue to grow our range. But yeah, I think mid-strength is here to stay, and we're going to be hopefully one of the most prominent brands out there.
fantastic. And most importantly, obviously, people listening, how do they take the next step? And obviously, we've got a supermarket coming up. So obviously that will become more apparent as time goes on. But as it stands at the moment, what are the ways people can get hold of 6% wine?
So the easiest way is through our website. So you've got six, so it's number six and written percent dot wine. So it's 6% dot wine. You can find us through Instagram, Facebook, all the usual channels. We're also available on Amazon, and we've got a number of other kind of retailers and expanding our retail ship. But if you please do reach out, have a conversation. If you've got any questions around building businesses, you're not doing anything else. Honestly, I mean this. I'm fully supportive with helping other people get out there and get things done, because it's tough to get over that initial. It's really tough to get over that initial, shall I, shan't I do it? But when you're doing it, it's great fun. It's a
Fantastic.
lot of work, but it's straight fun. So please do reach out. You can reach out through us through the website as well.
Awesome. Brilliant. No, that's been fantastic, Russ. Well, really appreciate the conversation today. It's been great. It's been great hearing your journey. It's been great hearing about, an exciting new category, which I agree with. I think it's only going to get bigger and bigger, and wish you all the best and look forward to seeing more of it and you and the journey going ahead. So
Perfect.
yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. Really enjoyed chatting to you today. Thank you.
Brilliant. All the best. Thanks, Russ. Take
Cheers.
care.